My child, stop for just a moment and listen with your heart. Heaven intercepted your scrolling on purpose. This is not random. I am placing my hand on your shoulder because I am protecting you from a counterfeit. Chosen one, hear this clearly. I see the pull. You feel the chemistry is strong. The history is deep. The moments are sweet. And yet, deep in your spirit, something will not settle. You smile on the outside, but you exhale with a knot in your chest. You replay conversations and still feel a quiet tremor beneath the laughter. That tension is not failure. That uneasiness is not weakness. It is me, and I am guarding you. Do not ignore this. Do not explain it away. When I do not want you joined to someone, I begin by removing your peace. Before doors close, before fruit turns bitter, before confusion swallows clarity, the first siren is always the stillness lifting. Peace steps back so you will step back. Remember what I have already spoken. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. The word rule means to act as an umpire. My peace is your umpire. When the umpire blows the whistle, the play stops. You do not argue with the whistle. You do not run another play. You pause. You look to me. You let peace decide. You have asked me, is this love or is this a lesson? I am answering now. I am not shaming you for hoping. I am not angry that you tried, but I will not let you make covenant with confusion. I will not let you carry what I did not assign. My will does not require chasing. My will produces peace and protection. Stay with me to the end of this message. I will give you 7 unmistakable signs so you will not wander in circles. The first is always the exit of peace. Then the doors close. Then the fruit sours. Then confusion fogs your discernment. Then compromise asks you to shrink. Then your body sounds the alarm. Then I uncover what was hidden. I will walk you through each sign so you can stop striving and return to stillness. Before we continue, obey me in this small thing. If your heart knows it needs steady discernment, connect yourself to these words. Subscribe so you do not drift when the next wave hits. And share this with the friend who keeps circling in confusion. This is not promotion. This is protection. I am using your yes to throw them a lifeline. Do not skip this moment. Let my peace be your umpire, and let this interruption become your rescue. My child, stay with me here and let my word be your anchor. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. Hear it again. Let peace rule. The word rule means to act as an umpire, to decide when the play continues and when it must stop. My peace is not a suggestion. It is the whistle. When I blow the whistle, you do not sprint harder, you stop. You do not explain away the sound, you heed it. You look to the one who called the play dead, and you let me set the next move. When my peace withdraws, I am not punishing you. I am steering you away from harm. I see turns you do not see. I see patterns behind smiles and consequences behind cravings. I remove peace first, so you will not have to learn by pain what you can learn by pause. Do not chase what I am shielding you from. Do not force what I am gently, clearly, lovingly saying no to. My will does not require your panic to perform. My will carries you in protection and rest. Understand the difference between conviction and anxiety so you stop confusing a warning with weakness. Conviction is specific. It points, it names, it invites you nearer to truth. Conviction says, apologize here, adjust this boundary, return to me. And when you obey, relief rises and clarity returns. Anxiety is vague, it churns and presses, and keeps you performing to earn security that never arrives. Anxiety says, strive harder, prove more, explain again. It leaves you drained, small, and spinning. When you move toward this person, does your spirit feel the mercy of conviction drawing you into alignment, or the grind of anxiety demanding you pay with your peace? If fear grows, if striving increases, that is not me leading you deeper, that is a siren saying, step back. Here is your first non-negotiable. If you must talk yourself into staying, peace is not ruling. If you have to bargain with red flags, peace is not ruling. If you keep explaining to friends what should be obvious in fruit, peace is not ruling. If you must ignore the knot in your chest, mute your own discernment, craft elaborate reasons to excuse patterns you would warn someone else about, peace is not ruling. When peace does not rule, you are not in a covenant I blessed. You are in a chase I never asked of you. Pause with me now. Put your hand over your heart. Breathe. When you pray about them, do you feel settled or squeezed? Do you feel permission or pressure? Do not rush past the answer. Let the whistle stand. Be still. Do not send that convincing paragraph. Do not move the boundary lines I drew. Wait in the quiet and notice. The more you surrender, the clearer the stillness becomes. If you are being squeezed, I am steering you. If you are settled, I will confirm it in peace that remains, not peace that flickers only when you forget the facts. Trust the umpire. Let peace decide. My child, listen closely. Peace leaves first. Long before the obvious breaks the surface, the quiet signal shifts inside you. You notice it at night. Sleep becomes thin and restless. Your mind rehearses conversations you have not had and arguments you hope you will not have. Your appetite changes not because you are fasting with joy, but because your stomach knots at the thought of another round of explaining yourself. Prayer, which once settled you, now feels uneasy. You start a sentence with me and feel a check in your spirit, a pause, a weight you cannot shake. And before you see their name on your screen, a small dread sets in, not hatred, not contempt, just a weary brace in your chest. Hear me, that unrest is not weakness. That unrest is protection. You have confused attachment with alignment. Chemistry can be loud while peace is quiet. Attraction can shout while my spirit whispers. The noise of your longing can drown the still, steady voice that has always guided you. Do not use intensity as evidence. Use peace as evidence. If moving toward them always costs you stillness, you are buying something I did not price for you. If every step forward requires you to numb what I am saying within, you are walking against the wind of my will. I know you wanted it to work. I saw the hope you carried, the prayers you prayed, the memories you guarded. I am not scolding you for loving. I am shepherding you from losing yourself. Do not ignore the first signal. Do not call this overthinking when it is discernment. Do not label this cold feet when it is the umpire halting the play. When peace steps back, step back with it. When peace will not enter the room, you do not need to either. Here is what obedience looks like right now. Stop justifying the knot in your chest. Stop writing speeches to convince yourself that tension is normal. Cease striving to earn the calm you only feel in their best moments. Sit with me and tell the truth. Every time I move toward them, I feel squeezed. When you say the truth, relief will begin. When you honor the signal, clarity returns. My will does not require you to chase what keeps stealing your stillness. Let peace be your proof. Let unrest become your red light. When I withdraw peace, I am not abandoning you, I am rescuing you. My child, here is the second sign. The doors keep closing. Not one door after door. Plans collapse. Timing never aligns. Conversations that should bring clarity somehow blur the lines. Truth is spoken but does not stabilize. Promises are made but will not hold their shape. Every time you try to advance, an obstacle appears that demands you strive, explain, and stretch beyond wisdom. Hear me. Repeated resistance is not random. Patterns preach. I am speaking through providence. I will not bless a path you must force open. What is mine may require patience, but it will not require panic. I do not lead you into rooms where you must beg to be let in. I do not call you into a connection that survives only when you manipulate the hinges and hold the door with your own trembling hands. If you must constantly reschedule, constantly recover, constantly repair the same fractures, if apologies are plenty but alignment is scarce, stop, step back, see the pattern. I am guarding your future by refusing to cooperate with your striving. When you force a door I have closed, you create spiritual debt. You pay for forward motion with anxiety you were never meant to carry. You pay with your self-respect, accepting crumbs and calling them covenant. You pay with compromised boundaries, moving the lines you swore you would keep. You pay with rationalized sin, justifying what you would repent of if you were not so afraid of losing them. Each payment drains the account of your peace. Each payment mortgages your purpose. This is not favor, this is bondage, masquerading as determination. A closed door is not a curse, it is a guardrail. A blocked path is not rejection, it is mercy. I am redirecting you before damage multiplies. I am preserving your voice by refusing to let it be silenced under constant convincing. I am protecting your time by closing what would consume you. Do not interpret my no as neglect. Interpret it as my hand on your back, steering you away from a cliff you cannot see from where you stand. Lay down the battering ram. Stop proving you are worthy to enter a place I have not given you. If peace always waits outside while you force your way in, you are in the wrong house. If you must carry this relationship on your shoulders for it to move at all, you are carrying what I never assigned you to carry. Do not click away because the next sign exposes what this connection is producing in your character. My child, now look at what this connection is producing. Not promises, not potential, fruit. What grows when you are joined to them? Do you see life sprouting, or do you taste bitterness on your tongue? I measure relationships by fruit. If what you are calling love keeps growing fear and confusion, it is not from me. By their fruit, you will know them. Hear me. I am not moved by their speeches, their apologies, or their performances. I am not persuaded by chemistry, tears, or timing. I am not moved by their words. I am showing you their fruit. Name it plainly: jealousy that flares and makes you police your own joy, comparison that shrinks you until you forget your own assignment, secrecy that asks you to dim truth and live in half-light, lust without covenant that excites your body while it empties your spirit, controlling behavior that cages your voice and turns your yes into compulsion, emotional instability that makes you walk on eggshells, apologizing for simply having needs, spiritual dryness that dulls your hunger for my presence and replaces prayer with panic. These are not minor thorns. These are the harvest of misalignment. Do not call fear passion. Do not rename anxiety as butterflies. Do not baptize compromise and label it sacrifice. When I join two lives, I do not require you to betray honesty to keep peace. I do not urge you to hide your devotion to me in order to hold their attention. If staying repeatedly pulls you away from prayer, away from honesty, away from purity, away from wisdom, then that connection is not building your destiny, it is burying it. The fruit test is merciful because it is simple. Draw near and watch what grows. Do patience, gentleness, and clarity increase? Or do suspicion, volatility, and striving multiply? You do not need another speech. You need to taste and tell the truth. I have given you glimpses of good days, but patterns preach louder than moments. One bouquet does not fix a field of thorns. One apology does not uproot a harvest sown in secrecy and control. Stop eating what keeps making you sick and then calling it love. Love from me produces courage, not cowardice, steadiness, not spinning, repentance that sticks, not cycles that reset. If it keeps costing you your peace to keep it alive, it is not life, it is decay, dressed nicely. Receive my protection in this clarity. Lay the evidence before me and listen without bargaining. If the fruit is bitter, step back before it poisons your purpose. Now I will show you the sign that reveals misalignment at the deepest level. Your spirit and their spirit cannot walk in the same direction, and confusion becomes the atmosphere. My child, look at the air you are breathing now, confusion. It is not just a moment, it has become the weather pattern over your mind. You second-guess everything. You reread their text like sacred code, searching for stability between commas and emojis. You rewrite messages 3 times, 4 times, and still press send with a tremble. Your mind feels foggy, your prayers feel thin, your spirit feels numb. You walk away from conversations more unsettled than when you entered them. You are not imagining this. This is a spiritual environment, and I am naming it so you can leave it. Hear me with clarity. I am not the author of confusion. I am the God of peace. When peace rules like an umpire, you do not have to guess the call. The whistle is clear. But in counterfeit environments, noise replaces the whistle. Urgency replaces clarity. Pressure replaces patience. You feel pushed to define, to chase, to fix, to prove. You rehearse defenses to earn a safety that never arrives. That is not how I lead. I lead by peace, not by panic. I lead by steady growth, not by hot and cold storms that keep you dizzy. Notice the patterns. Confusion keeps you scrolling, not praying. It keeps you performing, not resting. It makes you distrust your own discernment until you outsource your peace to their next message. When the atmosphere is confusion, even your strengths feel like liabilities, your boundaries feel negotiable, and your inner yes and no blur into gray. If confusion has become normal, you are not standing in my peace, you are standing in a warning. Here is your way out. Return to quiet. Power down the conversation windows that feed obsession. Step outside the swirl. Breathe in my presence without their voice in your ear. Do not ask me for signs that only keep you checking your phone. Ask me for the one confirmation I always give, peace that remains when you face the facts. Pray simply, Lord, if this is you, establish peace that holds steady in daylight. If it is not, let unrest anchor me from moving forward. Then wait. No bargaining, no paragraphs, no testing games. Just stillness under the umpire's call. Open my word and let it read you. Write down what the fruit has been and what peace has said. Fast from their feed, fast from your need to fix. Let the fog lift in the quiet until your no becomes as holy as your yes. Because hear me, when you live inside confusion, you start to negotiate with what you once called non-negotiable. And that is where the next sign appears, when you begin to shrink and compromise replaces covenant. My child, here is the sign you have been trying not to see. You start shrinking. You edit your convictions to keep their comfort. You lower the volume of your truth so their insecurity won't rise. You tolerate disrespect and rename it patience. You accept half love and call it progress. You move the fence lines you and I drew together just a little at first, so you can keep access to a place I never assigned you to live. This is not humility, this is erosion. This is not covenant, this is compromise. Watch the behaviors. You stop asking the questions you know you need to ask. You apologize for having boundaries. You laugh off what hurt you. You hide your devotion to me to avoid being called too spiritual. You hand out second, third, and 10th chances while your soul runs thin. You rationalize what you once repented of. You text more than you pray. You monitor their moods more than you guard your heart. You are tailoring your soul to fit a smaller room, cutting pieces off yourself to sit at a table I did not set. Hear me, this is a spiritual danger. When you shrink, you begin to negotiate what I already established: your worth, your purity, your future, your calling. You were not born to bargain with your identity. You were not crafted to live in the gray so someone else can avoid the light. I set your value before you met them. I marked your path long before their attention tempted you to detour. Do not trade your birthright for a bowl of attention. Do not mortgage your destiny to subsidize someone else's reluctance to grow. Listen to my heart and let it steady you, not because you are unlovable, not because you failed, not because your standards are too high, but because I refuse to let you settle. Because I placed my image in you, and I will not watch you file it down to please a moment. Because covenant requires truth, requires honor, requires mutual pursuit of me, and I will not call manipulation love or silence peace. Ask yourself, with honesty that liberates, who are you becoming around them, more secure or more desperate? Bolder in truth or quieter from fear? Clearer in purpose or foggier in compromise? Do you recognize yourself, or do you feel like a guest in your own life? If staying requires you to betray your boundaries, it is not covenant, it is compromise. If staying requires you to lie to your future to soothe your present, it is not partnership, it is prison. Return to the lines I drew. Reclaim your no. Honor the yes you made to me. I am not taking love from you. I am restoring you to love that does not demand you disappear to survive. Stand tall again. Lift your head. Strengthen the knees that have buckled under pressure. And know this, if you keep shrinking, your body will testify next. Tension will take up residence. Sleep will thin. Energy will leak. Because your soul and body were never meant to live in constant strain. My child, your body is speaking now. Listen, the headaches that arrive after every conversation, the tightness across your chest when their name lights up your screen, the insomnia that keeps you staring at the ceiling, replaying what was said and bracing for what might be said next, the constant adrenaline always on edge, always scanning the room, always calculating how to avoid the next explosion or the next disappearance, the emotional whiplash highs that rocket you upward for a moment and lows that drop you without warning. This is not random. This is your body joining the umpire's decision. Peace blew the whistle, and now your nervous system is echoing the call. Hear me clearly. Love from me strengthens you. It steadies your breath. It makes room for laughter that does not feel borrowed. It gives your shoulders permission to drop. Counterfeits consume. They keep you bracing for the next shift. They turn you into a weather forecaster for someone else's storm. You analyze tone, you decode silence, you apologize for existing. That is not covenant, that is captivity. I did not design you to burn out in the name of sticking it out. I did not craft you to collapse under the weight of someone else's refusal to heal. My child, you were not designed to survive a relationship, you were designed to flourish in one. Let me father you here. Stop performing. Stop proving. Stop trying to earn consistency from a heart that keeps moving the target. Lay down the script you rehearse to make them stay. Lay down the habit of reading their mood before you read my word. Put the phone down and put your hand over your heart. Breathe with me. Say, I will not pay for connection with my peace. Say, I refuse to live on adrenaline as proof this is love. Let tears come if they need to. Tears are not failure. They are release. Return your body to the rhythms of rest you abandoned when striving became normal. I am not asking you to push through. I am inviting you to step out. If your connection to them costs you your stability, it is costing you too much. I will not require you to sacrifice sleep to keep what I did not give. I will not ask you to trade your appetite, your focus, your joy, your health for a bond that keeps draining you dry. When you honor my no, your breath will deepen, your shoulders will lower, your sleep will begin to heal. Peace will not visit, it will dwell. Choose me over the rush. Choose stillness over suspense. Choose the slow, quiet strength that returns when you stop chasing. Now listen, there is a final sign that people ignore because it hurts, but it will save your life. My child, here is the final sign, do not look away. I expose what is hidden. I pull truth into daylight so you can exit before the damage multiplies. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and when I reveal, it is mercy. You prayed for clarity, I am answering with light. Masks slip, stories stop matching, words and actions finally separate. The pattern you felt in your spirit stands up in front of you and calls itself by name. This is how exposure arrives. You set a boundary, and their warmth turns cold overnight. You ask for accountability, and they joke about religion and mock your devotion to me. You request a timeline, a covenant path, honest counsel, and they refuse, deflect, or disappear. You say no to sin, and suddenly guilt is thrown like a net. If you loved me, you would. You bring facts, and the subject changes. You are blamed for noticing. You ask for mutuality, and manipulation surfaces. The silent treatment returns. The apologies get shorter while the justifications grow longer. Screens flip face down. Schedules cannot be explained. Promises come easy, but follow-through never arrives. Hear me, this is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Do not call this humiliation. I am not humiliating you. I am liberating you. Exposure is prevention. Exposure is protection. I am saving you from contracts you would have signed blind. I am cutting cords before they cinch around your purpose. I am stopping the theft of years you do not have to lose. Pain now is smaller than devastation later. Tears today are cheaper than rebuilding after a collapse you could have avoided. Believe what I show you the first time. Do not rewrite truth to protect a fantasy. Do not launder red flags with nostalgia. Do not argue with evidence because you prefer their potential. Patterns preach louder than promises. If contempt surfaced when you honored me, believe it. If commitment vanished when you drew a line, believe it. If ridicule met your prayer, believe it. I did not expose this to start another cycle of bargaining. I exposed this to give you an exit. So here is your instruction. Step through the exit I opened. Stop sending convincing paragraphs to rescue what I have already ruled against. Stop offering discounts on your boundaries. Stop rehearsing comebacks and start reclaiming your peace. Tell the truth to me, to yourself, and to the trusted voices I gave you. Choose clarity over chemistry. Choose covenant with me over counterfeit comfort. You are not required to avenge yourself. You are not allowed to return to bondage you now see. You have seen the 7 signs. Peace lifted, doors closed, the fruit turned bitter, confusion choked your discernment, compromise shrank you, your body sounded the alarm. And now, truth stands in the light. Next, I will show you exactly how to respond without bitterness, without panic, without relapse, so you can stop striving, return to peace, and walk out guarded and whole. My child, you have your answer. Do not turn a clear no into a longer wound. The right response to my no is not revenge, not panic, not proving a point. It is surrender back into peace. Obey me, and peace will return. First, pause contact, not a dramatic speech, a holy stillness. Close the loop you keep reopening. No, one last coffee. No midnight closure. No breadcrumb replies that invite another spin. Silence is not punishment. It is protection. It is a sanctuary for your soul to breathe again under my whistle. Second, pray simply and often. Breathe in and say, Lord, let your peace rule. I release what you did not send. When the ache rises, say it again. When the phone tempts, say it again. Short prayers, steady obedience. Third, bring this into light with wise counsel, not a chorus that feeds your bias. One or two trusted, mature voices who love me and love you more than they love your fantasy. Present fruit, not feelings. Invite accountability. Tell them your plan and let them hold the line with you. Fourth, re-establish boundaries I already drew. Write them, speak them, guard them. End ambiguous communication. Refuse intimacy that belongs to covenant. Delete private threads that keep you secretly connected. Remove secret access points, late-night scrolling, saved photos, playlists, shared passwords, gifts that function like altars to a season I just ended. Return keys. Box the reminders. Make relapse inconvenient. Fifth, discern obedience from obsession. Obedience moves with peace. It takes small, clear steps and rests. Obsession hunts for certainty through control. It crafts elaborate tests, rechecks messages, stalks timelines, bargains with fleeces, and calls it discernment. Obedience says, "Yes, Lord," and sits down. Obsession says, "Prove it again," and spins. Choose the yoke that is easy and the burden that is light. Sixth, reframe your grief. Missing them is not proof they are mine. Withdrawal can mimic love. You are detoxing from a bond that did not bless you. Waves will come. Let them roll through you without rowing back into the storm. Feel it. Name it. Do not obey it. Peace is still the umpire. Now, craft a rhythm. Morning open, my word before you open your feed. Midday, breathe the prayer I gave you. Evening, journal the fruit you are seeing from obedience and release them again to me. Move your body. Drink water. Worship softly. Sleep as an act of faith. When you falter, confess quickly, reset, and keep walking. I am not taking from you. I am making room for what will not make you beg for basic love. Obey me, and watch peace return like a river. If you agree, type this as your declaration. I choose peace over panic, and I will not chase what God is blocking. My child, lift your eyes. I have not only led you out, I am leading you toward. Hear me. What is from me will not demand that you abandon yourself to be loved. Covenant builds you in peace and truth. Counterfeit bleeds you with confusion and performance. I am clarifying the difference so you stop reaching back and begin wading forward. Listen to me and let these words settle you. You won't have to beg to be chosen. You won't have to decode mixed signals like a daily riddle. You won't have to compete with their distractions or their past to be seen. You won't have to lose yourself to keep your seat at the table. You won't have to mute your convictions so affection won't leave. You won't have to audition for consistency. You won't have to buy peace with silence. You won't have to trade your calling for their company. When love is from me, it does not require you to disappear. Covenant has markers, and I am teaching you to recognize them. Consistent pursuit initiative that honors your time, your boundaries, and your worth. Clarity words and actions that match. Direction that does not wobble with every mood. Honor truth spoken with gentleness. Respect that does not make you small. Patience, a pace that protects purity and does not pressure you into what belongs to marriage. Alignment with faith, hands joined as you seek me first, not as a cover for compromise. And peace that remains even through hard conversations. Conflict handled with humility, not weapons. Corrections that restore, not shame. Decisions made in the light, not in secrecy. These are not fantasies. These are fruits of my spirit at work in two willing hearts. Chosen one, hear me with tenderness and strength. I will not lead you into a love that breaks your spirit. I heal you before I join you. Delay is not denial. Delay is surgery, is strengthening, is skill. I am preparing both hearts, shaping wisdom, establishing boundaries that will bless your future family. Do not despise the quiet season. It is building the foundation that spectacle cannot supply. What I give will arrive at an appointed time, and it will not require panic to keep it alive. So decide with me now. Close the door to what I have exposed. Open your hands to what I will send. Say yes to peace and no to pressure. Say yes to honor and no to hiding. Say yes to clarity and no to confusion. Breathe and let your spirit agree. I will wait for covenant. I refuse the counterfeit. Keep your heart steady because next we will pray, we will release, and I will seal you in peace. My child, come close and pray with me now. Place your hand over your heart. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath slow. This is the turning point. Do not rush it. I am here. Release is not loss when I am guiding it. Release is protection and freedom. Follow me phrase by phrase. Let your own voice agree. Say, Father, I release what you did not assign to me. I release the person. I release the fantasy I built around them. I release the timeline I tried to force. I release the need for closure, for explanations, for one last conversation. I choose your will over my craving to control. Let your peace rule in my heart like an umpire. If it is not from you, let me feel the no as protection. If it is from you in another season, I trust you to resurrect it without my striving. Say, heal me, Lord. Go to the roots. Touch the places rejection carved into me, the ache of abandonment, the father wounds, the mother wounds, the grief I learned to hide. Break trauma bonds that tied my nervous system to chaos. Cleanse my memory where old moments replay like a loop. Wash my imagination where desire keeps dressing up compromise as destiny. Purify my appetite. Remove the thrill of uncertainty I mistook for love. Bind up the fractures in my identity and call me by the name you gave me before any heartbreak chosen, secured, beloved. Say, protect me now. Close every door I left open, to manipulation, to soul ties that are not holy, to lust, to secrecy, to confusion. Sever every ungodly tie, spiritual, emotional, physical, and seal the edges with your presence. Post your wisdom at my gate. Strengthen my boundaries, clarity in my no, courage in my yes, patience in my waiting. Assign angels to stand with me in weak moments. Make relapse inconvenient and obedience simple. Say, replace what I lay down with what is from you. Fill the empty spaces with your peace and purpose. Steady my mind where it has spun. Deepen my prayer life until conversation with you feels more natural than checking my phone. Restore joy that is not borrowed from outcomes. Renew my discernment so early warnings are loud and true. Teach me to delight in quiet, to rest without fear, to trust without proof. Rewire my reflex to chase. Make my reflex to pray. Say, I forgive them for what they could not give me, and I forgive myself for what I ignored. I bless them and release them into your hands. I will not carry them in my mind all night. I surrender them to your mercy. I receive your yoke that is easy, your burden that is light. I choose obedience over obsession. I choose peace over panic. I choose the path that protects me and prepares me. Now breathe, my child. Peace is returning to its seat in your heart. Let it rule. Let it umpire every next step. I am sealing you even now, your mind, your memories, your mouth, your movements with quiet strength. Rest. You have let go, and I am holding you. Amen. My child, now seal it. Use your mouth as a key. Declarations turn exits into gates that stay closed. Say this with me, out loud, and let your spirit agree. I declare peace will rule my heart. I declare confusion will not be my counselor. I break partnership with panic. I end agreements with urgency and fear. I will not chase what you did not call me to carry. I will not reopen what you have closed. I will not bargain with boundaries. I will not rename compromise as kindness. I will obey swiftly. I declare that your peace is my umpire. When emotions shout, peace will make the call. When chemistry surges, peace will make the call. When history pleads its case, peace will make the call. Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ rule in my heart. Rule means umpire. Umpire over my impulses. Umpire over my nostalgia. Umpire over my need to fix. I submit my steps to the whistle of peace. I declare I am not available for confusion. I close the door to mixed signals and hidden motives. I sever access points to secrecy. I silence the story in my head that argues with evidence. I choose clarity over chemistry, covenant over counterfeit, truth over tension. I choose the easy yoke and the light burden. I choose rest. I declare my body is coming back into order, breath steady, sleep restored, appetite for righteousness renewed. My phone will not be my Lord. My boundaries will not be discounts. My no is holy. My yes is to you. I declare I forgive. I bless and release. I will not rehearse offenses. I will rehearse obedience. I will not audition for love. I will abide in love. I will not chase. I will be led. I will not panic. I will pray. I will not hide. I will walk in the light. Now speak this as your line in the sand, and write it where you can see it. Say it, then type it in agreement. Peace rules my heart. I release what God removed. My child, As you declare, I am fortifying you. I place peace as a sentry at your gates. I quiet the storm and establish the stillness. When peace rules your heart, you stop chasing what I never called you to carry. Let peace sit on the throne and call every next play. If this confirmed what your spirit already knew, like this message as your amen. Subscribe to stay covered in discernment and prayer, and share it with someone who needs courage to choose peace over chasing. This is ministry, this is protection, and this is how you walk on in peace.